Hi folks, welcome back to Math with Captain Rod. I'm making this video here to help demonstrate how to apply the quadratic formula to solve quadratic equations. So again, the purpose of this video is going to be how to apply it, not why it works or how to derive it. I'll save that for another video. So first of all, quick review of the quadratic formula. So basically, if you have any equation in this form, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, then the solutions of it are x equals minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over twice a. The quadratic formula is a wonderful way to try to solve quadratic equations. It always works. You know, when you try to solve quadratics, sometimes they can factor, sometimes you won't be able to factor them. You may or may not be able to complete the square, and completing the square is a method that tends to give students a lot of trouble. The quadratic formula, though, I mean, once you know how to apply it, will always work and always either A, yield you an answer, or B, tell you that no answer exists. So it's a very powerful method. I teach physics primarily, and we use this in physics almost exclusively, because usually the equations you derive in a physics class don't end up factoring. So the first step in using the quadratic formula, you always want a 0 on one side of the equation. So we're going to look at numbers 14 and 20 on page 277 in your algebra text. Here's 14 written out, and like I previously mentioned, the first step is to always get a 0 on one side, because you have to have this format to apply the quadratic formula. Now this one's already set up nicely for it. Then you just identify the a's. So there's not a number in front of the x, but if there's not a number there, it's presumed to be a 1. So I'll go ahead and write out a is equal to 1 plus bx, so b is equal to 6, plus c equals 0. And I'm just going to now apply this formula as I see it. So x is going to equal, let's see, minus b, that's going to be negative 6, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, all over twice a. So you just put in the numerical values, and now we'll start simplifying this. All right, inside that radical there, let's see, 6 squared is 36. And then we're going to have minus 8 over 2. And then we'll simplify this further. Let's see, so 36 minus 8, 28, I believe. Yep, and then all over 2. Now 28 is not a perfect square. Let's see here. 14 times 2. Oh, it's divisible by 4. 4 times 7. 7 is a perfect square, or 4 is a perfect square. So minus 6 plus or minus, let's see, and then again that 28, if I think of that as 4 times 7, the 4 is a perfect square. Square root is 2, and then root 7 over 2. And these are both divisible by 2, so minus 3 plus or minus 2 root 7. And there's our two solutions. And I know this looks a little kind of painful, I guess, to look at, but that's, you know, sometimes these have nice, easy solutions like 3 and 1, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes the solutions look like this. Now again, there's two solutions here. One of them is negative 3 plus 2 root 7, and then the other one is negative 3 minus 2 root 7. I'm going to go ahead and kind of move this, shrink this stuff, move it to the left. All right, we'll start looking at this other example here. So this one, and I just want to double check that I thought so. This was supposed to be a 4 here. That's all right. All right, so this one, let's see, has a little bit of preliminary work to do. Not a ton, but a little. You always want this to read equals 0 when you apply the quadratic formula. So the first step is going to be to subtract 4 from both sides. So this is going to read 2x squared minus 7x minus 4 equals 0. Now, when you get good at this, you probably don't need to write the second step, but until you get good, I would recommend you write out a equals b equals c equals. In this example, a is equal to 2, b is equal to negative 7, and c is equal to negative 4. Until you get good at applying the quadratic formula, I'd strongly suggest you write those values out. And let's go ahead and now write out the solutions. So x is going to equal, right, minus b. Now b is minus 7. So if we take minus a minus 7, we would get positive 7, plus or minus square root of b squared. That would be negative 7 squared. Now you might wonder, do I need the minus sign? And the answer to that is no, because 7 squared and minus 7 squared are both plus 49, but I'm going to go ahead and write it exactly as it is in the formula. Minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which is negative 4. You got to be very careful with plus and minus signs when you apply this formula. All right, over twice a. So there's the quadratic formula with every value put in, being very cautious with my plus and minus signs. Now let's simplify. All right, inside this radical here, let's see, that's going to be 49. Now this product, let's see, 16 times 2 is 32, and also minus and minus is plus. All right, 7 plus or minus, all right, square root of. All right, let's see what these are going to add to. So 70, these add to 81. Square root of 81, 9. So our two solutions, one of them is 7 plus 9 over 4. That's 16 over 4, which is 4. The other solution is 7 minus 9, which is negative 2 over 4, which is minus 1/2. So there's our two solutions to this equation, 4 and minus 1/2. So again, the purpose of this video is to demonstrate how to apply the quadratic formula. I hope that this helps you out. Have a great day.